And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over.
You know, he coming behind his jab, he throwing straight punches, he going to the body, going and up and down. He just got to tighten up a little bit on his defense, but other than that, man, he good.
The pound-for-pound #1 spot is never a sure thing in a sport that is full of debate. Fans and the media are fighting, but one of boxing's most feared men has made a firm statement. David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, has spoken out about Terrence "Bud" Crawford, but it's not a call to action. At 168 pounds, Terrence Crawford not only beat Canelo Alvarez, but he also broke him. A smaller boxer who moved up 2 levels completely beat the man who looked unbeatable.
Is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
Benavidez knows what it takes to win at the top level because he has been a champion more than once and has never lost. The nice things David Benavidez said about Terrence Crawford were more than just words of praise. To crown the king or queen, Benavidez, who thinks he is the best in the world, did the impossible in a sport where ego and call-outs are important. He didn't just applaud Crawford. He called him the Mount Rushmore of boxing right away. To him, he was one of the all-time greats and a fighter who changed history in ways that most people will never get to see.
Terrence Crawford, because, he beat, he did something that I didn't think he was going to do. He beat Canelo. That's 3 weight classes going up. And he made it look pretty easy. So you have to give it to Crawford.
This is from your most dangerous foe. That's the kind of praise that makes everyone quiet. After seeing Crawford move up and wait to win all the titles, Benavidez gave him a nod. But what he said next really shows how persistent Crawford is. People asked Benavidez what most impressed them. He didn't say anything about Crawford's speed, footwork, or ability to switch poses. He showed something that can't be trained. He thought Crawford's heart stood out the most. Benavidez was surprised that Crawford chose to stand and fight with a bigger puncher like Canelo in the later rounds, even though Crawford was clearly ahead in the fight.
What impressed me the most was Crawford's ability to stay focused in the fight, and not only just to stay focused and box, but he also got rugged in there. He started balling with him towards the late rounds. That's something I appreciate in a fighter. He was already up. He could have chose to just box, but he went in there and he tried to brawl with him in the last round. So that's really what impressed me. His heart more than anything impressed me.
Crawford didn't just want to win. He wanted to be in charge. He has the instinct of a hound to kill, which won't let him ride to success.
Good fight. It's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say 25.
Crawford is good. Crawford is good, and I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time. And Crawford, he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time. So, Crawford, when he has with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, and you stay working for a long time, you have a puncher's chance.
Benavidez thinks that's the secret tool. We don't think Crawford will lose because of this. He has great skills, but he also has a scary attitude to go with them. Benavidez thinks Canelo Alvarez has lost that way of thinking.
And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. That's crazy. But I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. So you have to give credit to that too. That's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that, and not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
Crawford's praise was like a double-edged sword because Benavidez used it to cut Canelo Alvarez right in half. After proving he was the best of all time, Crawford went after the man he'd been after for years and gave him a crushing defeat. Benavidez talked about what he thinks was Canelo's deadly mistake, the real reason he lost, and felt bad about himself. Not having enough skills or power wasn't the cause. He said that Canelo's ego was too big for him to handle. It wasn't just a loss. We learned something from it. Benavidez didn't hold back. People said that Canelo was rude to both his opponent and the sport. He says Canelo didn't pay attention to the fight. He said that the winner was walking forward and throwing about 10 punches to back up his own claims. It was Canelo's huge ego that made him think, "Oh, I'll just walk through Crawford, catch him with a good shot, and it'll be over."
I'm not happy that he lost. I kind of feel like that could have been me. That was my moment. You know what I mean? If I would have gone in there, I know I would have beat him. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be a hater, but that's kind of how I feel. But you know what I mean? I give all the flowers to Crawford. You know what I mean?
That should have been me in there. That should have been my.
If I would have got that fight, I would have been me. I would have been the one getting my hand raised. But like I said, it didn't happen, and that's why it didn't happen, because Canelo knows that would have happened.
Being rude like that is not okay in our sport. Benavidez made it clear. Finally, he said something very scary that all warriors should pay attention to. That will bite you in the eye. Indeed, Canelo's ego, which had made him famous, was what brought him down in the end.
I think Crawford took it way more serious than Canelo, which is kind of weird because, you know, the amount of money that Canelo was making. And I know all these people say, oh, yeah, you know, talking shit about Canelo. I'm not talking shit about him. He just didn't look like he really prepared 100%. He's throwing 10 punches around. Or I think it was his ego is that big that he thought that, oh, I'm just going to walk through him, catch him with a good shot, and it's going to be done. As you can see, Crawford is a different type of fighter. Not only has he had the boxing IQ, he has that dog in him. He was in there. He was brawling with Canelo like in the 8th, 9th, getting the best out of him. Boxing, he's epitome of a great boxer. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in that fight. You know what I mean? If you really want to make something come true and you really believe it, you can make it come true. And then the other lesson is, don't let your ego get the best out of you. And don't think that you don't have to prepare because you're a bigger fighter. You know what I mean? That shit will bite you in the ass.
Now that Canelo was no longer king, all eyes were on the next clear super fight. The man with the strongest instincts to kill, Terence Crawford, is going up against the most avoidable pressure fighter in the sport, David Benavidez, who is from Mexico. It was a proper handing over of the torch. The new king faces the king who hasn't been crowned yet. A battle for the 168-pound division's soul. The excitement began right away. This was the right fight. But when the question was finally put to Benavidez, everyone was shocked by his answer. He didn't just say no to the fight. He completely brushed it off. He said that he doesn't want to fight Terence Crawford. His reasoning was just as shocking as the rejection itself. His words were heard around the world. "I'm done with 168. In the super middleweight division, he's out." He also said that he wouldn't even change his mind about the huge prize against Canelo. That means he's not doing it for Crawford at all.
Could you still make 168? Is that a possibility?
Honestly, bro, my plan is after this fight, I want to go down to 154. Nah, bro. I'm done with cruiserweight. You know, I want to take this opportunity though. Yes, I say cruiserweight. I want to take this opportunity to, you know, congratulate Crawford. You know, he put a hell of a performance. He's up there in the Mount Rushmore of the greatest fighters of all time. And, you know, let Crawford do his thing, bro. You know, at the end of the day, I have no interest in fighting Crawford. I have no interest in going down to 168. I mean, yeah, it's nice that it would be dope winning all titles, but I'm way past that at 168. You know, the only reason I wouldn't even go down to 168 for Canelo. And I'm just being real with you, you know, and let Crawford do his thing. Let him have his, let him. I want to give his flowers, man, because he's a great fighter, man. When there's no other fighter that's coming up from 147 to beat a type of fighter like Canelo at 168, you know, and Crawford, you know, he's one of the greatest of all time. So, you know, I have no interest in going down to 168. I'm not saying that I'm scared of Crawford or whatever, you know, but Crawford's a man at 168. That's his weight class. I'm done with 168.
In a cold, almost contemptuous statement, Benavidez stopped the biggest fight that was going to happen in boxing. His only word was, "Let Terence Crawford live." That's his weight group. He turned his back on the whole division, the fans, and the much-anticipated fight, making Crawford the clear winner.
How does the Canelo fight look with Benavidez? Who you favor?
I still got it at 50-50. Benavidez good, but Canelo is, you know what I mean, great. we just gotta see the fight, man. We all want to see the fight.
Do you think he gets him to the body? Because Booba was landing a lot of body shots.
I don't know. That's why I said we gotta watch the fight. You know what I mean? It's a different style, different type of fighter. You got two strong fighters going head to head.
Is Canelo the only 68U fighter? Would you consider a Benavidez?
Yeah, Canelo the only one.
However, why would he do this? As the #1 fighter in his division, why would he leave it for a division with bigger stars and bigger paychecks? This is the story that hasn't been told, yet that most people miss. If you weigh 168 pounds, Benavidez has a nasty past, and he is the first person in history to have been a 2-time world winner and then lose both of them. It was the end of his first rule when he tested positive for cocaine. He lost his belt. After getting it back, he lost it again, this time because he didn't meet the weight rules. For him, that separation has a long and painful past. He has lost a lot of weight in the past, and this drop to 168 pounds is hard. The monster from Mexico is now looking for something new to eat. He doesn't want to look back. He has left his old kingdom for good and is now up to 175 pounds, with cruiserweight in mind. He wants to be the best in a new area and is going after light heavyweight monsters like Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. He even wants to meet Zordo Ramirez.
For the opportunity to fight, we've been in talks fighting Zordo Ramirez for his belts at cruiserweight. So we're already in talks of that, you know. And then that's definitely a fight that has to happen because I used to spar him when I was 18 years old. All the way, you know, I sparred him a lot, so I know that's a pay-per-view fight. So it was a pay-per-view sparring session, so the fight is going to be, you know, way better. But yeah, definitely, that's in my sights. You know, I definitely want to go to cruiserweight. You know, I want to be a reigning defending champion at light heavyweight and then make my way up to cruiserweight. But
he's giving Crawford the 168-pound title, even though he clearly respects Crawford and doesn't want to face him.
I put 5. That's right.
That's cheating.
I love it.
That is cheating.
That's a heel turn. You the boss.
That
I love
is heel.
it. That's a heel turn.
I love it. You do that 5.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Wow.
Roy at his peak. Just remember this: if Roy would have retired after the Ruiz fight, he would have replaced Sugar Ray Robinson as the greatest fighter of all time.
I agree.
Right? But he didn't, and the rest of that stuff is in there, right? So I get it. But Roy at his peak, I think, had a higher peak than anyone on this list.
I agree.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao, we've all said it a million times. I think he is, outside of Sugar Ray Robinson, I have Manny Pacquiao's second greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. Floyd Mayweather never lost. And did he cherry-pick when and where? Yes. But guys, from 130, 135, he cleaned out 135. He beat the best guy at 130, beat the best guy at 135. Yes, did he pick and choose at 140, 47, and 54? Yeah, but he won all those fights.
That's right.
And he beat a lot of good fighters. And more than that, put Floyd at his best with anyone through history. You do not know who wins.
It ends the whole sport with a question that makes you think. His big ego may have cost him the belts and kept fans from seeing the real super fight. Or is David Benavidez just running away from the person he just built a monument to on Mount Rushmore? The video for today is now over. Remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon if you liked it so you don't miss any more movies. Remember to leave your thoughts in the space provided. Keep watching, and we'll see you next.